Alright guys, so today's video is sponsored by .tech Domains. If you're in the market to build a website, whether it be for yourself, for a brand, or possibly a business, you realize it's kind of hard to find one that's short and sweet and still pertains to what you do. Now, I actually was having that same issue, but when I realized companies like Viacom, Intel, and CES all used a .tech domain, I figured it was time to give it a shot. And right now with their Black Friday to Cyber Monday special, which is running from November 26th to December 2nd, you can get up to 90% off. All you have to do is go to the link go.tech/Gameski and make sure to use the code BFCM19. Now all of this information will be below in the description, but I'd like to thank .tech Domains for sponsoring today's video. Alright guys, so today's video is about the brand new MeFo 04. And if you're familiar with the channel, the MeFo 05 was one of my favorite earbuds. I thought you got a lot of features for the money, and then you got incredible sound. So we're gonna see if the MeFo 04 can do the same thing, coming in at $80. And right now they even gave me a discount code to give you guys to knock $8 off. So you can pick these up for 72 bucks. But all that information is in the description below. So let's take a look at some of the features and what you get inside the box. So first off, the MeFo 04 is a much smaller, sleeker design. I really like the fact that this takes up like no space at all. And what makes these unique over the other ones is these actually use a moving coil driver. So there's a little bit of movement there, which we'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the sound. But as far as Bluetooth, it does have Bluetooth 5.0 and it has SBC and AAC playback. So with AAC playback, you are getting some of the better Bluetooth quality. Now, as far as the IP rating, this is gonna be exciting for a lot of people because this is IPX7. So yes, you can completely submerge these into water. You can swim in these if you want to, although the connection's probably not gonna work that great. And you can even shower in these. So this is a pair that you can just do whatever and not have to worry about. Now inside the box, it comes with a little strap that you can attach to the case since this is so small. I'm still not a huge fan of using the straps, but it's nice that they include that. Now as far as your ear tips, they're coming with 6 sets of ear tips. So if you're one of those that where normal earbuds just don't fit, at least with all these different options, you might have better luck finding a good fit. Now also in the box, it comes with a USB-C charging cable, which is always a plus. And speaking of the charging cable, the battery life on these, you're going to get around 6 hours of use on the earbuds themselves, where with the case, you're gonna get around 20 hours total. So that's actually some pretty decent battery life. Now it doesn't compare to the MeFo 05s, which got all the way up to 100 hours of battery life with the case. But again, this is a very, very small case. And to me, this is a different earbud altogether. Now another huge bonus is the case is actually a Qi wireless charging case. So just like always, you can come in, sit this thing on a wireless charger, and it will start charging. And it does take around 2 hours to get a full charge. Now, as far as the case, again, like I said before, it's a very small and sleek design. When you open the lid and you see where the earbuds are, right at the front part of the lip, you can see where the indicator lights are to let you know what your battery life is at on the case. So now let's move over to the earbuds. This, to me, is where things get really interesting because they do have touch controls, but the touch controls, this is an odd one. The touch controls control play, pause, answering your calls, rejecting your calls, and it also has an ambient mode, which you can hold for 2 seconds and it will allow all your outside sounds to come in. And that's a huge feature that's usually only available on the much more expensive truly wireless earbuds. So that's incredible that that's on a pair that you can pick up for 80 bucks. Now the huge problem is there's no track control and there's no volume control. So it's really heavily relying on you talking to your smart assistant or just pulling out your phone to be able to control everything. Now, some people may be completely fine with that. Some people don't mind just talking to their smart assistant to tell it what to do all the time. I'm just not the biggest fan of this. So that is just one of those big drawbacks in my opinion. Now, as far as other features, it does have an auto shut-off mode. So if you're not using your earbuds for 5 minutes, they'll just power down so that they're not killing your battery. Now, as far as people that like to use them individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right by themselves. And as far as the mics that are on these, it also has the technology to block out your surrounding sounds whenever you're taking calls. That way people on the other end can hear you a lot more clearly. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test of the MeFo 04. In my opinion, I think this is one of the better sounding microphones. And so here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played in the background, just to give you an idea of what it would sound like if you took a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. What kind of sound are you getting with the moving coils? Well, I can honestly say you're getting a lot of air in the sound, which is really nice when you're talking about bass, especially bass in these that is very, very solid. It is not a tight bass by any means. It has a lot of that resonating bass that makes you feel like it's I don't want to say a subwoofer type where you're feeling the vibration, but it just still gives you the illusion that the bass is hanging around a little bit more. And again, that's because of the air in the sound altogether. The same thing goes with the treble, because the treble is nice and bright, but it has an airiness to it that feels like there's some distance. So it always makes you feel like you're in a much larger area than you're in. It doesn't feel like you're just standing right in front of two big speakers. So there's a lot of depth and a lot of distance to what you're listening to. But this doesn't apply to the mids. The mids feel like they're very forward. The vocals, you're always able to hear clearly. The vocals always feel like they're right there in front of you. Guitar tones and strings and stuff like that has a very nice presence to them. These actually sound great with all the genres that I tried them with. I think it sounds amazing with a lot more modern music that has bass, especially pop, hip hop, even metal where you're wanting to feel the drums, you can do on this very tiny little pair of truly wireless earbuds. Now, as far as my cons with these, I do have to say the touch controls, even though they work great, I'm so confused as to why there is no track control or volume control. Maybe that takes some getting used to, but that's a little strange. And my only other con is not being able to EQ these, because even though I think they sound fantastic, there may be somebody that wants to dial the bass down a little bit, or maybe tune that treble up a little bit, because I'm telling you, the space and the airiness that it has in the sound, it really does give you a more open feel than most other truly wireless earbuds, and some people may just want to adjust that some. So right now, the Mifo 04, in my opinion, is an excellent buy, especially if you want a very small footprint. I think for the $80, it's well worth it. And like I said, right now with the coupon code, you can pick these up for 72 bucks. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.